Hello, everyone. The hidden concerns when driving for Uber or Lyft. Well, one of the concerns I had when I was driving was just concern about the flow of traffic because the flow of traffic it can change at any time. Once the traffic changes, that could slow down the commute to get the client where he or she needs to go. Now, the solution to this is, of course, me being the driver, being proactive, having a variety of routes, also communicating with the client once he or she got in the backseat of my vehicle. Sometimes I'll offer if they had a different route that they wanted to go, depending on the time of the day. Most likely during rush hour. I usually ask. And if they had a route, cool. If they didn't have a route, that was cool. And the reason why I did that was because that limit one of my hidden concerns, which was the client being impatient. Most individuals, once you pick them up, they want to get to wherever they're trying to go with no hiccups. And the reality is, when you're doing rideshare, when you're driving on the roads of the unknown, there will be hiccups. So, construction was one of the things that were a concern of mine on a minute level because in DFW there was an abundance of construction in most areas. That's something that couldn't be avoided. And though the client was probably aware of this, actually, stronger word, likely was aware of this, still had to communicate that because, again, most folks were getting off of work. Some people, especially the individuals that I was swooping up from the airport, they really didn't know the law of the lay of the land from the DFW, except for people that resided in DFW. And those individuals were forthcoming and say, I already know how the traffic is. I know on 635, I know on 183 that it's going to be this hiccup, things going to be moving slow. So there was really no disappointment or disapproval from the client to me. Another hidden concerns driving for Uber, Lyft is that sometimes the clients they wanted to make pit stops. Initially, I kind of wasn't down for it because I was fresh on the app. And I would say when they would ask, "Hey, can you stop to the gas station?" I was that guy saying, "No, I'm gonna just take you to where you need to be, and if you want me to stop, you have to go back into the app and go through that whole spiel." That didn't last long though. I think that lasts for probably about 10 days max. Then after that, I was stopping, and that was no longer a concern because I was still getting paid. In fact, I was getting paid cash. Everyone knows the cash rules. Didn't have to go in the system. The rideshare app was not getting a percentage, and plus, I did not have to pay any taxes on it. So that was always a win-win. Another hidden concerns of driving for Uber slash Lyft is when I had a big party get into my vehicle. When I say a big party for me, three or more people. Two people, that's normal. Um, more than three, it kind of was a concern. Always gave people the benefit of the doubt, but you also don't know how strangers are. People are, they hop into your vehicle, and you got to take them. There's been situations out there where the unfortunate events of life happens, and terrible things happen. So that was always a concern of mine. But the solution to that was I just had the right mindset, and the Most High was looking over me. And so that what that was. Another one of my hidden concerns of driving for Uber and Lyft is just sometimes 12 hours is not enough. 12 hours, if you all have not been listening to me, if it's your first time hearing the video, 12 hours is the longest a said driver can drive on the app without having to be off the app for 6 hours. Now, this was a hidden concern of mine because, like some of you all out there, and you all can respond in the comments and tell me what you think. Once you got to the 12 hours, you were still full of energy. you could have still kept driving. It was still money to be made. It was still people to be helped. You still had the right mindset, so you were just feeling alive. You was feeling like every ride was going to be a $30 tip afterwards, no matter if you was going 5 minutes up the road or 12 minutes up the road. It just felt fantastic. And of course, that was a concern for me because I was forced to stop. It forced it forced me having to sit down, lay down, kick my feet up, and I kind of knew as I was in the process of doing rideshare that I could have just did both apps at the same time. However, I did not do that, and the reason I did not do that is because it was mainly for safety purposes. And my whole thinking was I could circumvent the system, but I don't want to. I didn't want to be a danger to the individuals on the road, nor to myself. And I enjoyed helping people. I enjoyed making money. I enjoyed getting to my destinations safely, but not enough to put everyone in danger. So that was a hidden concern at one time, believe it or not. Um, Another hidden concern was some of the individuals that hopped in my car and like did not talk, like they just had their headphones on the whole time. The reason why that was a concern, beyond putting my personal feelings aside, that's being rude, not speaking, and just a lot of assumptions. So they just assumed that I was a law-abiding driver, which I am still am, and I was even then. But from my vantage point, I was like, I know it's the right person because, of course, I could see in the app. But I'm like, this could be a unstable individual. Now, the way that I dealt with that was I always made sure that the client, and this is another reason. Well, let me say this first. The way that I dealt with that, I made sure the client was sitting on the passenger side, so I was always able to see him or her. And this is the thing: when it was more than two people, I couldn't really keep my eyes on everyone. I had to just drive and knowing that the right mindset would get me to where I need to be. And to my credit, to the Most High's credit, that was the case. Like I said in the prior video, had over 2,000 rides. Not once was my life in danger. Did I have some off-putting clients? I did. That was kind of a hidden concern how I would deal with it. And the solution to all of my hidden concerns, believe it or not, was me just having the right mindset. Way prior to me hopping in the vehicle, it was so deep into my subconscious. It was only right that the events turned out how they turned out. So, like I said, I just wanted to bring you all some of my hidden concerns of driving for Uber and Lyft. Please hit the link below and go and purchase my book from Amazon. Memoir from a former rideshare driver. It will help you. It will help a family member. It will even help a friend. And if not, get it for an enemy because it could turn that enemy most likely to an associate and even a friend. And depending on the nature of the relationship, you all can become lovers. So like, share, and subscribe. Leave a comment below if you like. I'll definitely respond. And you all continue to have a good one. And I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.